Hey everybody, it's finally happened. I finally got to Beltzville State Park, the trail is open, and I have it all to myself. So we're going to be doing some hiking. Today we are doing the Chrisman Falls Loop, and I think it's on all trails it says 4.5 miles. We'll see, because first of all, you know how I am. I'm gonna go off trail, let's just be real. And we all know that all trails lies. So we'll see where the road takes us. But right now we're just starting off on this lovely green path, which I'm gonna turn you around so you can see. Very tranquil and nice. It's gonna be a hot one today on this, I believe it's May, wrong month. It's June 5th. It's supposed to go up to 88 today. And it's 11 o'clock. I got a bit of a late start, but definitely feeling the heat. That doesn't bother me though. I'll hike when it's 100. I did forget my Beltzville story, because you know I always have a story with every park I go to, and it's on my desk. So we'll add that in at home. But never fear, you will get a story told. You will get a storytelling version of the history of this park, one way or another. I'm definitely feeling the weight of my pack today. I have 3 water bottles and a Gatorade, plus my lunch, and then of course all of my recording gear. So I have a feeling my back's gonna hurt tomorrow, because this is the heaviest my pack has been yet this year. We'll see. But it's worth it. I'm very happy to be out here today and grateful that third time's the charm, because it's the 3rd time I tried to get up here and it's finally successful. So I'm gonna hike for a bit and I'll check in with you later when I find something cool. All right, true to form, I have already encountered a dilemma. So Chrisman Trail says it can go that way, it is a loop, or that way. So I pulled out all trails, because there's also a path going that way. And it looks like this path is not Chrisman Loop, it's something extra, because I started walking down it and all trails didn't like that. So I must be going this way and looping to that way. But when we come back, we're going down there. Okay. There are lots of offshoots as I travel here, so I'm definitely gonna have to use my all trails. But this is really pretty. You guys know I like my pines and my hemlocks, and I love trees, but I love these kinds of forests where it's a little sparse. You can see through the trees. It's nice and open, the sunlight's coming in. I once again feel bad for the decimation of some of these trees though. Everywhere I go, there's a lot of evergreens that are just not making it. But I can hear the water off to my right. I did encounter a couple walking their dogs, so I got to pet some dogs, yay. And I said hello to their owners, just to be clear. But mostly I pet their dogs. I'm gonna you know me. This is not the trail, but I want to look down and see what I can see and show you what I see. It looks beautiful down here. So definitely worth a look. Alright. Not much, just a small little creek running through down there. But lush and green and beautiful. I imagine we'll be heading in that direction at some point. So we'll come back up to our trail and we'll keep moving forward and see what we see. So today is my first hike, since school let out. School let out on Tuesday. I took a lovely walk with a friend on Tuesday night at a county park. I hit Nolde yesterday in the evening just to get out. I had a day of chores to kick off my summer. And today I'm just enjoying the heat, enjoying nature, and enjoying bringing you another video of one of our beautiful state parks. So we've come to yet another fork in the road. There's a ton of them here. So that's interesting. I kind of want to know where it goes, but I believe I'm supposed to go this way according to all trails. So I'm going to do that. And hopefully I'm not missing out on anything cool. Here I am again. Road less traveled. Or not the road less traveled, the road not taken. Sorry, I was looking at my all trails and trying to talk at the same time to make sure I did choose correctly. The road not taken. I'm always going to wonder what's down that road. Guess I'll have to go back. We just made the turn to head down to Wild Creek Falls. I can hear them, so that's pretty cool. There's a very lush foresty view, which I'll turn you around to see. And hopefully we see something pretty amazing at the bottom. And hopefully my bug spray keeps these flies off of me. So let's turn you around. So we came from there. Up there's the sign for Wild Creek and Christman. And we've come down into this. I saw some abundant bird life on my way down, and I startled what I think was a garter snake. I didn't get a good look at him. Scared him back into the leaves. So I'm going to leave you on as we descend. It's really something. To the right of me, it's all like lush and green and gorgeous. And to the left of me is looking a little bare. I'll come down here and check this out. You see a little bridge here. Actually looks pretty cool. We'll do a little video of this one. Really cool with the small falls and rocks. I'd love to figure out how to get down there. Right now I'm not seeing an obvious path. Coming off of there's a little bit of a drop. And what I'm next to is a sheer drop as well. So we'll see if we can get down there. The trail is pulling us away from the creek and up the hill here and into the woods. So let's see. I feel very hunched over right now. I really do need to adapt to my... Hello, chicken. Aw, he lives in the little hole in the tree. Too cute. I really do need to adapt to my heavier pack. Oh, here we go again. Multiple packs. I think we'll need to go to the right, but we will check our trusty all trails to make sure. Yippers. I'll do this for a bit. We're kind of along the road right here. I'm not sure which one. I don't know the area well enough. So, moving away from the lovely sounds of the falls and into homes and traffic. Oh, I don't know if you're able to see it. It's a blue jay. I had to redirect a little bit there. I was fighting off flies. So again, flies are bad. Worse if you stand still for too long. So, I like to stop and look at stuff, but I might be looking at him more quickly too. Very cool. Yep. Some fur here on the trail. Oh. Ugh. Some deer carcass here on the trail. Hold our breath and keep going here. Bethlehem Municipal Water Authority. So that's what we're walking past. In addition to deer carcass. I'm gonna guess I'm going up through this field. I didn't see. All right, I'm back. It took me a minute there. I just started walking to see if All Trails was okay with it. And it looks like there's a little bit of a trodden down path here, and that seems to be what we're supposed to take. So we will. I'm very thankful that I threw sunscreen on in the car. Most hikes I don't need it because I'm usually in the woods and not getting a whole lot of sun. The forest is beautiful. I'm going to go up and down this field a little bit. Some kind of sign in there. Okay, it's just a little loop that brings you back out to here. Well, I'll just stay on this then. There's just more forest in there. The weight of my pack is kind of pushing me down the hill here. There they have them working. I will say this trail's a little odd. In some spots it's so well marked, and in other spots you're kind of left guessing. Now this is saying I went off on the other trail. So I can do this and meet that. Oh boy, or I can go up there. I kind of want to go this way. But this has hiking trail. So, alright, I guess I'll go this way. Oh, this is what it wants me to do, I think. I have no hands right now. I'm holding you and I'm holding my All Trails. Alright. Ascend. I think we have a lot of ascending to do actually. I'm feeling this today with the weighted pack. I have to start drinking my water. Alright, here we go. If I drink my water, then my pack won't weigh so much. Whew. Okay, and we're back in the forest. Is that what it wants me to do? I don't think that's what it wants me to do. I'm going to turn you guys off for a bit while I figure this out. Alright, it turns out that this little path here is a connector path, which shortens your hike substantially, but we came out here to hike, so we're not doing that. So we're actually going to do the Cove Ridge Loop, which goes all the way out and all the way back around. So we're going to turn around here and not take the wooded path. But if you do come out here, this would probably cut, I'm going to say, a good 2 miles off of your hike. Something to keep in mind. Alright, so I'll give you a nice little view of this woodsy trail that we're back on now that we're out of this itchy field of grass. I should maybe take a quick stop and check for ticks. Probably not my worst idea. So this should take us down to Cove Creek. Hopefully we can find a good, I don't see ticks, but I do have a lot of other bugs on me. Hopefully we can find a nice spot to sit and eat our lunch. I have half a wrap again today. And if you watched Grumpy Hike, hopefully my experience with my wrap goes better this time than that time, because half my chicken fell on the ground. So, which was fitting for Grumpy Hike. But I'm not grumpy today, so I'd like to maintain my chicken. This path looks like your typical Pennsylvania path, though. We've got rocks and roots and pine needles and pine cones and a mixture of evergreens and deciduous trees and ferns. Kind of got it all here. So, very nice. Well, I'm going to hoof it, and I'll check in with you soon. Here's the story of Beltzville State Park. Once nestled in the hills of Carbon County, Pennsylvania, there was a quiet village called Big Creek Valley. The valley stretched gently beneath the sun, its land tilled by generations of farming families. The heart of the valley was a winding stream, Big Creek, that meandered through forests, danced around boulders, and whispered stories to anyone who'd listen. The people of Big Creek Valley had simple lives. The children played in the meadows. Fields of corn and wheat swayed in the summer breeze. Church bells rang on Sundays, and neighbors gathered for picnics and barn dances. Life moved with the seasons, steady and sure. But the stream that gave the valley life had another side. In the spring, when the snow melted in the Poconos and rain clouds hung heavy in the sky, Big Creek could become wild. Floods would rush down the valley, tearing at homes, fields, and roads. Again and again, the people rebuilt, clinging to the land that had raised them. Then came the year 1960. Engineers and officials from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers came to the valley with blueprints and plans. They spoke of safety, of flood control, of a grand project that would tame Big Creek and protect the Lehigh River Valley. A dam would be built and a reservoir would rise. The valley had to be sacrificed for the greater good. Some cried, some resisted, but in time the people left. Their homes and barns moved or dismantled, their memories carried with them. Construction began, and the valley was transformed. By 1971, Beltzville Dam stood strong, and behind it the waters of Big Creek gathered to form a vast new lake, Beltzville Lake. Where meadows once rippled with wheat, waves now shimmered under the sun. And so, Beltzville is a place of transformation. From farmland to floodplain, from valley to lake, it stands today as a place where the past and present gently touch, like sunlight on water. Lunch has been consumed. Sat at a beautiful spot. I'll post a picture of that spot. Not me eating lunch, though. I did not drop any of my chicken this time, so that was nice. So, we're back on the trail. I'm a little stiff from bracing myself on that hill that I sat on, so I gotta loosen back up here. Let's talk backpacks. So, if you watched Grumpy Hike, you know that I was having some difficulty finding the right backpack. I first went to REI and I bought an Osprey Tempest. And it was a 22 liter and it didn't have enough space in it. So I put in like my water bottles, my lunch, and all of the batteries to operate my GoPro and, you know, another charger for my phone. It was really tight. So I went back and I got a Mira, and that was a 32 liter. That sucker's huge. So for a day hike, that one was a little much. I might hang on to it though, because if I do any longer hikes or I backpack out to a spot where I want to camp, that larger size might do well for me. So I'm debating. So in the meantime, I bought what I'm wearing now. See if I can. Mm-hmm. So it's a Daylight 25, and it's perfect. It doesn't have quite as many contraptions on it as the Mira, because that one was a real pain to like put on and have it fit snug and nice. This one is, it has the waist, which is nice because my pack's heavy today and it's helping take some of the pressure off of my shoulders. We have the chest strap, which is always helpful, and it hangs my reading glasses if I need them. And you know, the little tabs where you pull it in. But this one is a really nice fit, and it has the perfect amount of space. I like the way the storage spaces are set up on it as well. It can kind of, it has like three different layers. Sorry, I have a nice view of the lake here. Let me flip you around. It has 3 different layers, and, or not layers, but like storage compartments, and they're pretty nice. And then there's a completely separate one on the back if you use a bladder, which I have not yet. I'd like to try that out this summer and see if I like it or not. So this one's definitely, I guess they say 3rd time's the charm, right? So this backpack's definitely my winner. I've been very comfortable and enjoying it, and I do like the fact that if I don't want to have the belt cinched, I don't have to, because when I started hiking I did not. Whereas with the Mira, I almost had to have it cinched in order to be able to wear that backpack properly. And I actually am not fond of the belt strap. It's just today, since it's hotter, I have a Gatorade and 3 bottles of water plus all my gear. And I haven't really traveled that heavy yet this year, so just an adjustment. But anyway, Osprey Daylight 25 for the win. All right, we are emerging from the solitude of the forest into a little field area here. So we'll see what's next on our hike here. Figured I'd put you back on so you can see what I'm seeing. Alright, we're going downhill, and it's actually kind of a slightly nice change of pace because I've done a lot of uphill, which is okay. I like the exercise. But very wild and wooded looking area here. Absolutely beautiful day. Wow, that looks magical almost. All right, I'm back to where I started. The car is in that direction, not very far. I want to try to start heading home around 4 because of Maggie. I left the house around 9, but since I'm near the beginning, there were 2 trails I wanted to check out. So what the heck, let's check them out. Let's see if they're worth checking. So this is our first unnamed trail. And to see just a little bit, where does it go? Looks like it takes us down to the creek, which is nice. And leap over a log. Okay. That was actually pretty steep. Nice little spot though. Once again, weight of my pack is hauling me down the hill. Alright. So we got a really pretty creek back here. I'll slowly pan you down. Very tranquil. Looks like somebody's got a little fire pit going there. Yeah. So that's kind of it for here. Alright, we are, I did a lot of uphill. We are back on the Chrisman Trail. So we're away from the creek and the waterfalls. I just kind of rounded a field and we're sort of walking on a nice trail. It's pretty even, it's pretty level. Kind of meandering through the woods at this point. So this will be the easy part. It's definitely toasty. So I'm trying to keep hydrated. It's my second bottle of water, plus I had a Gatorade. So trying to be smart, because sometimes I forget to drink and I just keep going. I added 2 miles to my hike by accident, so that was fun. I also had to backtrack. The park rangers were looking for somebody, and I'm just going to give you the short version. I knew where that person was. I had just passed him. So I walked back with them part of the way, not quite all of the way, to send them off in the right direction. So wasn't someone, well, they were looking for someone that was potentially hurt, but also someone who was harassing. And we'll just kind of leave it at that. But anyway, so I wish the park rangers good luck with that. And I'm glad that I'm up here on the Chrisman Trail, far away from it. It was very pretty down by Wild Creek. This is kind of nice too, though. Almost like a cool down, if you will, because the trails back in the woods there was not any worse than anything else I've ever done, but it was definitely a lot of up and down. So it's kind of nice to walk evenly for a bit. I'm going to flip you around. I kind of forgot that I had you facing me. Sorry, fly. I'm also going to chug some water. But we're back close to civilization, close to the road. Ugh, this was the water that I had with my ice pack. It's not so cool anymore. I should have left maybe one in the vehicle with an ice pack, but I didn't. Oh well. So I know I've said it tons of times in my videos, but if you are able to actually get out and hike, do it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. It's good for you physically, it's good for you mentally, and it's good for you emotionally. I know it helps me in all of those ways every time I come out. And even if I come out on a grumpy hike, or I start off happy and excited for adventure, all I know is I always leave the trails feeling better than I did when I went in. And with that little tidbit, I think I'm going to sign off and just enjoy the rest of my hike. I don't think I'm going to really see anything different from what I'm seeing right now. If I do, I'll check back in. But otherwise, I'll see you next time.